Alrighty, we are live. We are live. Thank you all for coming today for another episode of the Leadership Standard. My name is Gucci Law. I'm going to be your host. I hope you all can hear me clearly. Please let me know. I hope there are no issues with the mic. Alrighty. So, hope you all are having an amazing Saturday. Today, we're going to talk about some of the things that is bordering on the issue of the UK reports on Biafra. We know that there has been a false, misleading narrative that the UK government decided to make IPOB a terrorist organization, which is actually wrong and false. So, we are going to be talking about that today. So, please share this broadcast. Get people involved. Let's get going. Let's get the ball rolling. All right. You must understand that at this point in time, there's a level at which the conspiracy that is coming up against the Biafran people, and against the people that stand up for the rights and equality and fairness and human rights of the Biafran people. There's a conspiracy coming up against them. And that is one of the things that we are yet to debunk. All right. So please share this broadcast. Let's get the ball started. All righty. So I want to first of all talk about this policy reports that the UK government wrote on country policy and information of separatist groups in the southeast Nigeria. All right, this is from the UK's website. Now, first of all, I want to highlight the fact that they mentioned here in this article that the basis of the claim for the Biafran people is for fear of persecution, serious harm by state actors because the person is a member or supporter or perceived to belong to a group or a group that supports a separate state of Biafra. So I want you to understand that this is what the Biafran people are fighting for. All right, most people don't understand. Most people don't get what the Biafran people are fighting for, but this is simply what they're fighting for. So you have to understand that there's a fear of persecution. There's also the fear of serious harm by the state actors because the person is a member or supports or perceived to belong to a group that supports a separate state of Biafra. Now, they talked about, in this report, they talked about what Biafra is, the name, former Eastern region of Nigeria, and all of that history that led to the Biafran and as well as to the Nigerian Civil War. They said, Biafra is not a legally recognized area. But again, there's been something called the Bite of Biafra way back in the 16th century. Most people don't know that. There's been something called the Bite of Biafra that came all the way back in the 16th century. So how then could you say that, there was no legally recognized area known as Biafra, or Biafra is not a legally recognized area? But that doesn't make any sense because it is a legally recognized area. All right, there are maps that show that it's a legally recognized area, but they go on to talk about the types of movements that have come out, with Masob, Ipob, indigenous people of Biafra. All right, so now the only thing that they mentioned in this report was when they had said here that IPOB is proscribed as a terrorist group by the Nigerian government, and members of its paramilitary wing have reportedly, and now all of these are articles, all right? These are just articles that they just put up together that talked about the issue of IPOB and the Eastern Security Network, and also the supposed clashes between the state and the IPOB, all right? Now, you must understand that the whole idea behind all of this is they never mentioned that IPOB is a terrorist organization in this report. And they came out again to clarify that IPOB is not a terrorist organization. So obviously, the people that have been peddling that information have been peddling it falsely. All right, they've been peddling it falsely, and there are numerous reports that are showing right now that IPOB is not a terrorist organization. All right, it is rather an organization that is fighting from what it has always said, fighting for the human rights, fighting for the protection, fighting for self determination of its people, of its members, of people that identify as Biafrans. So, I want you all to understand that. Um, so, we also know that the British government has provided to give, the Biafrans who identify as Biafrans, give them amnesty in the UK. They provided that opportunity for them previously. All right. Welcome, James Friday. Thank you for being here as always. They provided that opportunity for the Biafrans in the UK to seek asylum. The thing is, whenever white people are doing their things, most of the time they are quite logical. It's just that sometimes when black people run with headlines and they just start talking nonsense and just to back up their own opinion without actually thinking. That's the problem. Most people did not read this article. There is a court case right now in the Court of Appeal that is fighting against the the lower court's decision to prescribe IPOB as a terrorist organization. IPOB is not a terrorist organization. From all this report that is going on, you can actually see it. All right. And at the end of the day, they say in this report, all right, that there is a crisis happening. Look at what it said. In the mid 1960s, newly independent Nigeria was affected by economic and political instability and ethnic friction. This is still happening to today. There's still the political instability, there's still ethnic friction, right? And so they now mention that they now give us a history. A number of violent clashes occurred, including in September 1966, when some sources estimate that 10,000 and 30,000 Igbos were killed in northern Nigeria. Attempts to resolve tensions failed, and in May 1967, eastern Nigeria unilaterally declared its independence from Nigeria as the Republic of Biafra, triggering a civil war which an estimated 1 to 3 million people died. All right. Now, they also mentioned here that since the 1990s, new separatist Biafra movement have been established. You see how they use the word separatist. Now, the point is whether or not they decide how they want to write this report. Somebody wrote this report, sat down and wrote it, right? And maybe it went through various levels of scrutiny. But the point is, these people are not the people who read this report. Most of them just read the headlines. Most people did not even read the report. Most people don't even like to read. Most people did not read this. If they had read the report, they would have seen that there was nowhere they said it in this report that the indigenous people of Biafra is a terrorist organization. They never said it. All right. They actually gave a history of how, most these organizations, Masob, IPOB, how they all came, how they all came about. Right? They said IPOB grew out of Masob in 2012 and 2014 and has a presence, including the UK. They even mentioned that IPOB has a presence in the UK, has a presence outside of Nigeria, including the UK, Germany, and elsewhere. There's limited information in the sources consulted on the organizational structure or membership of either IPOB or Masob. All right? So we must understand that there is a reason why a lot of people are confused. And the reason why they are confused is because they've decided to be biased in their own opinion. Because if you are not biased in your opinion, you will be able to understand another person's opinion. But when you're always biased in your opinion, when you always have to see things from your own point of view and not from another person's point of view, that is when you start becoming very myopic, very myopic. You must be able to see things from another person's point of view. All right, and not just be quick to jump into castigating and you know demonizing another person without listening to what the other person has to say. So I want you to understand that there's been so many killings between the Nigerian government and the members of IPOB. All right, we all know that there's been so many killings, and at the end of the day, we must understand that the people are seeing all of this. The people see all these things, and there's a record for all of these things. There is a record that is being kept for all these things that's going on. And at the end of the day, people have to be accounted for the lives that were lost. People have to account for the lives that were lost. Because these lives are not chicken or goats. These are lives of human beings. These are lives of people who have family members back home. All right? They have family members back home. And those family members, they require to know where they are. So this is another story I wanted to talk about. The British High Commission wrote a letter. I know this is actually very small, but the British High Commission wrote a letter. All right? They wrote a letter saying that we are aware of inaccurate reporting circulating in the media and online that the UK government has added the indigenous people of Biafra to the UK's list of terrorist groups or organizations banned under UK law. These reports are untrue. The indigenous people of Biafra is not a proscribed organization in the UK. All right? That is what they said. So the same opportunities that every other person will get seeking asylum in the UK those are the same opportunities that a Biafran person will also get. All right? The same opportunities that any other person will get. So the inaccurate reporting relates to the 13th of April 2022 publication by the UK government of a revised country policy and information note on separatist groups in Southeast Nigeria, including the indigenous people of Biafra. CPINs provides country of origin information and analysis of COI for use by UK government decision makers, handling particular types of protection and human rights claims. All asylum and human rights claims made in the UK are considered on their individual facts in accordance with our obligations under the United Nations Refugee Convention and the European Convention on Human Rights, taking into account relevant background, country information, and case law. So, what am I trying to say? This is UK. This is not Nigeria. This is a country with some kind of democracy, with some kind of human rights, with some kind of decency. This is UK. This is not Nigeria. This is not a place where they will just come up and start talking nonsense without verifiable facts. UK will clarify their issue. How will a whole government of Nigeria make fake news using the media to propagate fake news? All right? And a lot of people did not read the article, so they started running with that fake news like mad people. That's why Wike said he wants to come and take care of mad people. That he's the chief madman that can take care of mad people. So it depends on what you guys want. You can continue to live in your lie and in your poverty, or you can decide to wake up and start demanding that you own the resources of your land and you control those resources to the benefit of that community and that nation. That is exactly what you need. But if you decide you want to go ahead and be lying and peddling false news, it's up to you. The Nigerian government will not wait will not wait to, to come at you. At the end of the day, that's what they do best. That is what they do best. But at the end of the day, we have to tell ourselves the truth. Nobody is making it. There's so much poverty in the country. They've shut down the domestic airlines right now in the country. Nobody knows what's happening. Everybody's just waiting until they all wake up one day and see that the country is no longer in effect anymore. And everybody that has sold the country has left the country. And they've left the country to Fulani headsmen and terrorists. That is what it is coming to. It is coming to that point where you will just wake up one day and you just realize that there's no more airline, there's no more road service. The only people you are seeing on the road are just people with guns and people that want to just shoot and kill, and that's what's happening. So now they shut down the airlines. The Nigerian airline operators have issued a notice that from Monday, they will shut down their operations due to the high cost of fuel, which has hit 700 naira per liter. Can you imagine? You see, one problem leads to another problem. And that's how the problem just keeps recycling. One problem leads to another problem. They shut down the airlines in Nigeria. Look at it. The domestic airlines is shut down on Monday. So from Monday now, if you have any business anywhere outside of your state, you have to take the bus and take the train. And we both know what happens when you take the bus and when you take the train. Nobody wants to take the bus and the train. Don't you know that if Boko Haram and ISIS figure out how to become terrorists in disguise, don't you know they would have figured out how to kidnap people from the sky? They would have figured out how to kidnap people from the sky. Yes. But the point I'm trying to make in essence is this. Whatever way you want your head to work is how it will work. If you don't have sense, you don't have sense. If you are foolish, you are foolish. There's nothing that anybody can do about it. The only thing that can happen is if you can listen, be objective, and read between the lines, then you understand what's really going on. There is a problem here. There is a big problem here. The fuel has increased. They've stopped flights, domestic flights, because these people are running a business. The government of Nigeria does not even have any airline. These are private owners of airlines, and they have staff, people to feed. They have all these people that they have to take care of. So obviously, times are hard. Times are very hard. So that is what it is. That is the country without leadership. A country without leadership will never know how to solve any problem. Will never know how to solve any problem. And even if you don't know how to solve a problem, can't you copy and paste the way other people are solving their problems and bring it to the country? Copy and paste what other people are doing and do the same things too. That is exactly what reasonable people would do. So the cost of aviation fuel has continued to rise unabated, thereby creating huge pressure on the sustainability of operations and financial viability of the airlines. This is unsustainable, and the airlines can no longer absorb the pressure. To this end, the airlines operators are wishing to inform the general public that member airlines will discontinue operations nationwide from Monday until further notice. So that is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. They have shut down airlines in Nigeria. From Monday, the airlines will be shut down. Schools are shut down. Airlines are shut down. Roads are shut down. Kidnappers are on the roads. Whatever you want to talk about is happening. Whatever bad news you think you know is going on is definitely going on. Finally, I want to talk about another story that I feel is very important. And that is the story of how the Nigerian military has been taken over by terrorists. The Nigerian military has been taken over by terrorists. Terrorists. Look at it. We have evidence Nigerian soldiers work with bandits and terrorists. They have evidence of recent happenings in various stations reveal an increase in cases of aiding and abetting by personnel. So there's an increase in terrorism. The Nigerian government has evidence that the Nigerian soldiers are working with bandits and terrorists. There is evidence to show that they're working with terrorists. Look at it. In a letter that was published by Sahara reporters, the CDS cited several incidents of soldiers arrested in connection with the activities of Boko Haram and other terrorists, including the arrest of a soldier who conspired with a known terrorist informant in Borno. Irabo condemned the development. Recent happenings in various TOs reveal an increase in cases of aiding and abetting by personnel. This development was revealed in different reports of arrest of military personnel within a short period of time. There you go. There you go. Terrorists are now in the Nigerian military. By the time we wake up, we'll realize that the soldiers that are now in the Nigerian military soldiers that are there, all of them will be fully radicalized Islamic terrorists ready to go out there and do the work of, you know who now, the work of Allah. And they will be coming in heavy force because they are already breaking the ranks in the Nigerian military. They're already spreading into the ranks of the Nigerian military. They are spreading their heads, their tentacles. They're going inside like a hydra-headed snake, taking over departments, taking over infrastructure, taking over guns, taking over, information. They know what they're doing. They're coming. They are definitely coming. At least the man was bold enough to say it himself. We have evidence that the Nigerian soldiers are working with bandits and terrorists. Nigerian soldiers. A lance corporal in the Nigerian army committed suicide after arrest for conspiring with Boko Haram insurgents who attacked Yobe communities. There you go. There you go. There you go. It's happening. It's coming. The terrorists have taken over the Nigerian military. And if care is not taken, they will keep doing more and more damage, more and more, penetration into the Nigerian military. But the problem of the Nigerian government is not this problem. Their problem is to go into Southeast and kill innocent people walking around just minding their business. This is the letter that was written by the Nigerian, military chief of defense staff, Irabo. He said recent happenings in various TOOs reveal an increase in cases of aiding and abetting by personnel. This development was revealed in different reports of arrest of military personnel within a short period of time. It will be recalled that a soldier was arrested by a covert intelligence team for conniving with a confirmed terrorist informant known as Babagana Kura in Bama, LGA, Borno State. There you go. There you go. Terrorists have taken over the Nigerian government. The Nigerian military is conniving with terrorists. There was also another soldier that was arrested with 162 rounds of special, 60 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO and IED making materials concealed in his traveling bag without a valid ID card. There you go. There you go. They are coming. These people are coming. They already know what they're doing. They're already in the military. They're already in the Nigerian military. the early Nigerian military. Before we forget, and before we say we did not know, let us also remember that this is the month where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be going to court. We are praying for a successful court session, and we're praying for victory, that he comes out of this his mess and comes out of all these trials and tribulations, as well as for all the other people that are locked up unjustly. They are locked up for speaking up, for just asking for a referendum and self-determination, and asking for not to be killed by Fulani herdsmen and bandits and terrorists and every other people, unknown gunmen, every other evil that exists in the Nigerian society. All those evil is what these people have been fighting for. And that's exactly where we have to speak up and ask the Nigerian government, for how long will they continue to act like there are no people in Nigeria that regard themselves as Biafrans? And what do you do to help them solve this problem? Rather than killing them and rather than maiming them, there could be a better way to solve this problem. Because we know that the media is not going to say anything. The media is only going to be talking about Ukraine, Russia war, and all the other wars going on in Europe, but they will never talk about the insecurity and the problems going on in the land. In that land, terrorism going on that land. There's a huge terrorism happening, coming up, and no one is saying anything until it consumes everybody. That's when they will figure out that, oh, this is a serious matter. But we're not going to sit down and wait to be slaughtered anymore. People are going to stand up and they're going to fight and they're going to speak up and they're going to protest. They're going to say that we've had enough is enough. And that's where it's at right now. Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful weekend.